All right, this is Curtis again, and I'm going to show you my tenon jig that I'm trying to create here. As you can see, it's just, all I do is I just use some leftover pieces of 3/4 MDF and had this white piece of metaling board. Everything's 3/4. Figured just give a nice smooth surface, plus I'd be able to see my workpiece a little bit better when I'm running it through. It's just all in pieces right now. I'm just still under construction, but I figured I'd give you guys a little update when I got it all apart here, so you guys just kind of see how I'm doing this. What I end up doing is just basically running both pieces, as you can see here. I cut this piece and this piece identical, completely the same. Then what I ended up doing is going just a little less than halfway through, probably about a 64th and a 64th right here is what I measured out to. And that way I have about a 32nd of an inch where when this piece goes on top of this, it doesn't actually slide on this. It's right next to it, but it actually slides on my two rails here. Now the rails are just pine. And all I did is like I said, I got my dados in there, and I glued those in, and I just made a runner, and put a slight dado in that, so that way that there would run in my track. But, I mean, it run nice and smooth here, and I'll tell you what, this thing here, let's see if I can get this to slop in there. There you go. Now that is just nice and smooth, and just really smooth, and you see there's just about a 32nd of an inch right there. I can't even get my fingernail underneath there. So it's just real smooth. I mean, it just rides on top right there. What I'm going to do is, you can see, I've got holes down in here. I actually drilled that from the bottom side. And what I ended up doing is just going, I guess I got a little piece here I'll show you. To make these, all I did is I was 45. It's kind of more for aesthetic reasons than anything else. But I got a little example here, because this is one of my mess up pieces here. Exact same thing. Kind of fits down in a dado like this. But as you can see, I actually flipped it over and I drilled a hole right here using one of my Forstner bits. And what I ended up doing is just taking a nut, measuring the nut out from flat to flat, and then I took that size bit, which is a little bit bigger, but actually will just fit in all your hex points. Will actually have to get pressed in. And what I end up doing is, if you can see down in there, it goes down to about a quarter of an inch or so, right down in there. What I end up doing then is just flatten out. You want to make sure you got, so right next to each edge, put one of your flat points of your hex on each side. Take a dead blow, pound that in there, and you get it the rest of the way down. All I did is I just took a bolt, screwed it in a little bit, and that goes right down in there. Now you're completely seated. And with that pressing in to all your four corners, that's not going to go nowhere. I've done that quite a few times now, and I don't really see a need to glue it, because if you think about it, once it's pulled over here, your hex getting pressed in there is going to keep it from turning, and you're not tightening it down that tight. And you're actually sucking it up to this point here, because then your bolt will actually thread in through the top. So that said, probably make a little more sense now. What I'm going to end up doing is, once I slide this here in there, I'm going to go take it to my router table, put a couple slots in right there, and then this is going to be my adjustment. I'll be able to adjust it however I want, and this here is going to stay stationary, wherever that's going to be. I'll be able to tighten it down with my little knobs here. It's just stuff I've robbed off of other things. And I'm actually going to cut this thing here down. That way it matches this. But looks like it's going to work out pretty darn good. What I'm going to end up doing then is, over on this side, I'm just going to build like some kind of bracket here, and then put a bracket right here. And of course I'm going to put probably an angle bracket here and here on both sides. That way it'll keep it nice and sturdy. I'll probably even end up running a couple biscuits few biscuits in there. That way it'll be really nice and strong. But anyways, I'll have my crank mechanism right here, so that way I can slowly just move this over. And then on right here, I think I'm going to go with 1.5 by 1.5. So that way, if I want to, and this is just a leftover piece right here, if I want to, that way I can actually run, grab a piece here, sorry. I can actually run my piece this way, like that, so that way I can get my cheek cuts, and then it's wide enough, I'll be able to clamp it and get my really, just cut everything nice and smooth, right, on the other sides here. Instead of nibbling all this away, I'll be able to actually get a nice smooth cut when I make my pieces. And what I'm also going to do here, so I'm going to come up with some kind of little arm, just like a regular one that you'd buy, and I got a couple ideas off the internet on how to make a little crank here and a little wooden stop right here. I got some ideas off of homemade bar clamps, and I'll show you all that when I get a little bit further. But I figured I'd guys at least give you a little look-see of what's going on with this. There's a lot of them that just ride on your fence, and that was okay, but that's not what I wanted. That was a little, trying to adjust your fence to get it just perfect, nah, I don't know. It's a lot easier when you got like a crank, because each one of your cranks can be like so much of a thousand, so I'd rather do that. But I think it's going to work out pretty good. It's going to slide real nice. But I'll keep you guys updated and let you know how it goes. And I think it'll work out pretty good. So thanks for watching, and I'll post another one further I get. Should have it done here in probably a couple days whenever I get time again to come out here and mess around. So thanks for watching.